Blog Talk Radio.
Well, good morning and happy Saturday. This is the Daily Dose, and I am your life coach and your host, Gina Cherie. And we are live in the studio. It looks like they got everything taken care of. We are doing good. We did our test run already, so we're doing good. So you guys are more than welcome to tune in, call in now, 563-999-3642. So we have about a 45-minute show for you today, and we're going to dive into one of our books. Now, if you guys follow the podcast, The Daily Dose, we read out of several books. Today we're going to be reading out of Women That Are Healed and Whole, a 90-day devotional journey book. And we got a pretty good one. So it is from the day 66. So I skip around a few in the book, but I found one that I really think is going to really resonate. And it also double backs on the podcast that I just did. So we're going to follow up on that as well. So I hope you guys are having a great start to your weekend. I know if you're in the Georgia area, take your umbrella outside if you plan on going outside, because it says it's going to rain all day. It just happens to be on a Saturday. It said it's going to be about 70-something degrees outside, but it's going to rain. So if you're going to be out, please take your umbrella and be safe on these highways and these byways, because, you know, people cannot drive these days in 2024. All right, you guys. So let's jump right into this. We have about 45 minutes. We're going to start taking some calls in about maybe 20 minutes in. So we're going to kick it off with Women That Are Healed and Whole, a 90-day devotional journey, and we're going to talk about appreciate your beauty. I picked this particular subject today because I just spoke about this, and this is going to tangle in not just with the beauty part, but with knowing who you are, standing on God's word, and knowing who you belong to. So that all is going to tangle in together, okay? And so let's start off. Charm can mislead and beauty soon fade. The woman to be admired and praised is the woman who lives in fear of God. And that's coming out of Proverbs 31:30. We are fascinated with beauty. There are contests of all kinds to determine who is the most beautiful of all. Advertisers spend millions of dollars to promote beauty pageants. The beauty industry is one of the largest in America. Women spend huge amounts of money on makeup, fashionable clothing, and jewelry. Plastic surgeons are kept busy cutting and tucking extra flesh and reshaping features to make people more attractive. In spite of all that attention, what is the true beauty of a woman? And you guys keep that in mind, because we can double back on that, because everybody has their own definition of beauty, right? And a lot of people say beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so keep that question in mind. What is the true beauty of a woman? What is it that makes her genuinely attractive? Many feel unattractive because they don't meet a certain image to which they have inspired. Others are consistently frustrated in trying to get someone to notice their attractiveness. No scientist has ever been able to make a woman. No doctor has been able to create a woman. No engineer has been able to build a woman. However, God has made fine women. You don't have to look like a TV commercial to be beautiful. No one stays 21 forever. So that store that we so like, Forever 21, that's just the name. We must learn to thank God for who we are. Don't be a silly woman watching television and crying because she doesn't look like a girl who opened up the window in the game show. You are not supposed to look like that. If God had wanted you to look like that, he would have made you look like that. God will send somebody along who will appreciate you the way that you are. Start appreciating yourself. Remind yourself, I am valuable to God. I am somebody, and I won't let another use me and abuse me and treat me like I'm nothing. Yes, I've been through some bad times. I've been hurt. I've been bent out of shape. But the Lord touched me and loosed and me, and now I am glorifying God, and I'm not going back to where I've come from. All right. So what I love about the way this is, it will give you that, and then at the end, it will give you your healing journey. So we're going to go through that, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. But have you guys ever felt, and this is more geared toward, well, women and my ladies, but I don't want to leave a men out because I feel like men have pressure to be attractive, or they have different pressures to drive a certain car, live a certain way, have a certain type of income, and this can all be incorporated into one. I feel like women are not the only ones that have the pressure of being beautiful and having that certain type of qualities. And we see that on TV all the time, and we're starting to see a lot of women look alike, like the same shape. Everybody has the same type of hair, the same everything, and nobody is looking unique. And I feel like it could be a little bit of a lot of things, the pressure, insecurities, low self-esteem, because if you know who you are comfortable with yourself and looking the way that God has made you. Now, we're not saying that if you go get your teeth fixed, that's a problem, right? But what, in my opinion, what I am saying is when you try to look so much like someone else because you don't find the beauty in yourself, I think that will be the problem, and that also creates a problem. If you can't look at yourself in the mirror and see a beauty within yourself, yeah, that is definitely a problem that needs to be worked on. And that's what we talk about on our podcast, is healing and loving and growing within yourself and becoming the man and woman that God has called you to be. If you guys want to be part of the conversation, don't hesitate to call 563-999-3642. We can take some few callers. We have about 36 minutes left in the show, but if you guys want to add to the conversation, if you guys have experienced this yourself and having to come to a point to where you have to relearn to love yourself and accept yourself a way that you are, definitely call in and be part of the conversation. Again, it's 563-999-3642. All right, so we're going to continue on, and then we have the ending when it does your healing journey, so let's go over that really quickly. You are valuable to God because of who you are. He finds you absolutely breathtaking and beautiful. The Bible says you are fearfully and wonderfully made. One way you practice the fear of the Lord is believing what he says above all other voices. When we truly revere to God, it does not mean we stand back from him, shuddering in dread. The fear of the Lord produces a new value for his word. When we awe him, we awe his word. When we awe his word, we consider what he says to be absolutely life-defining for us. So start stepping into a new dimension of fear, of the fear of God, by believing wholeheartedly what he says about you. He sees you as beautiful. And you guys have, if you guys follow the podcast, you guys have heard me say standing on God's word and knowing who you are and whose you are, and that's very, very important. So we're going to, I always like to to end things with positive words of affirmation and things that you can repeat after me. And I'm always telling you guys, like, if you guys have to, like, take sticky notes or take lipsticks and write it down on your mirror or however you need to do it, so that you guys can start getting up in the morning and speaking these things, because manifestation is real. And what you think it is also how you live, right? Like, if you think that you are nothing, you will begin to act that way. If you think that you don't deserve something, you will begin to act that way. And I am going to I don't like name bombing, but I was in conversation with somebody yesterday, and they said to me that they're so used to people treating them badly and putting them down and talking stuff that it just became normal to them, and that they just brush it off because they're so used to it. And in that moment, my heart just broke for them. Like, and I'm sitting there looking at them like, never get comfortable with people mistreating you and putting you down and degrading you. It could be for the littlest things. And I have a problem with people being treated badly, like, especially for no apparent reason. And when people know that they can do that to you, they're going to continue doing it to you until it's like a bully, right? They're going to continue doing that to you until you put a stop into it, until you can look at yourself and know who you are and walk into your truth. People are going to treat you the way that you allow them to. So my encouraging words to her was, I pray that you get to a point to where it doesn't become, it's not normal for you to be mistreated, and have value within yourself. And that let me know that I don't want to say she has low self-esteem, but I do want to say that she's still finding herself and she doesn't know exactly who she is. Because if she did, she would not allow people to mistreat her and think that it's okay. And I pray that she continue working on herself, continue healing herself, so that she can get to a point to where she understands and she knows that she doesn't deserve to be mistreated in that way. And so some of the things I talked about on our last show, I left you guys with at least 6 affirmations, biblical affirmations, to not only read, but to tell yourself to think about. And I'm going to go back over them again because I think it's very necessary, and it kind of ties into what we're talking about this morning. So I'm going to read those back, and I'm also going to give you guys the passages in the Bible where you guys can go back. Don't take my word for it. Go back and read it for yourself. Everybody should know the word for themselves. 6 biblical affirmations for women of purpose. I am a woman of purpose, walking in alignment with God's will for my life, and that is Proverbs 16:9. I am a woman of faith, believing that all things are possible with God. That is Mark 9:23. I am a woman of authenticity, embracing my true identity in Christ. Galatians 2:20. I am a woman of vision, seeing the possibilities and embracing the dreams God has placed in my heart. Proverbs 29:18. I am a woman of gratitude, praising God for his goodness in my life. Psalms 136:1. I am a woman of perseverance, standing firm in the faces of challenges. James 1:12. And like I said, manifestation is real. Start speaking positively into your life. Change the way that you think, change the way that you speak, because that will change the way that you live, and that will change the way that you feel about yourself. That will change the way that you move in life, like it overall changes. That you will know who you are and whose you are, and you will see the different type of beauty. We're not saying that you can't wear makeup. We're not saying that you can't do this, you can't do that. But what we are saying is find the beauty within yourself. You don't have to imitate or try to look or be someone else. know who you are and know whose you are. And you have your own identity. So you don't have to try to be anything other than what God made you, and see the beauty into yourself. And that is like something that I had to learn myself, right? And one thing that you guys do know about me is the things that I talk about, the topics that I pick, most of them are things that I have already lived through. Most of them are things that I've already dealt with, healed from, and grew from. And I've always asked God on why I went through a lot of these things. And as we go through things, we feel like we're at our lowest, right? Like we feel like we're the only person going through it. And I couldn't understand why one bad thing kept happening over and over and over again. I'm not expected to go through life and not know that bad things are going to happen, right? But I couldn't understand. It's like when I took 10 steps forward, I got knocked back down about 50, right? But now I understand. Now that I know who I am and whose I am, I understand. I'm not able to do what I'm doing and use my platform to help if I've never been through anything. Does it suck going through stuff? Of course. But I have learned how to deal better and how to pray my way through. And it's still a learning curve, you guys. It's not. I didn't figure all of it out overnight, right? Like I took time for me to learn it, cry it out, write it out, do whatever I needed to do to get to this point. But I know now how to deal with things that are coming, and I'm more prepared now. But I welcome different things that are happening in my life, because that gives me other things to talk about and to share and to give you guys my testimony and how I overcame things, and hoping and that it's encouraging you to do the same, because I know I'm not the only one that is going through things. I'm not the only one that is hurting. I'm not the only one that had to cry at night. And I'm here to grow with you. I'm here to learn with you and from you. I tell you guys that all the time. Like, if you guys want to add, if you guys know something or can help in any way, I don't know everything, right? I can just speak from my experience. So that's why I'm happy to be back on air and to be able to get you guys to give feedback and be part of the conversation. And it just creates a dialogue, right? So I'm excited to be back on air. So we're going to be doing this every Saturday at 10:30 Eastern Time, because I am in Georgia. But that gives you guys a chance to be a part of the conversation. And the conversation doesn't have to stop here. You guys can go in the chat. If you guys don't want to do live, you guys can go in the chat. You guys can email me. You guys, and I'll give you guys all my social media and emails at the end of at the end of the live, and you guys can definitely be part of the conversation there. And I always make it available, you guys. If you guys can't catch the live show, you guys can always go back to the podcast and listen there. You guys can stay interactive there as well. But to be a part of the conversation live on air with me, you guys can call me at 563-999-3642. Again, that's 563-999-3642. So we have a few minutes, you guys, so we're going to be wrapping up soon. But if you guys want to follow along, and I put this on the social media outlets, and if you listen to the podcast, it's on there as well. If you guys want to grab your own copy of the book, Woman Thou Art Healed and Whole, a 90-day devotional journey, it is by T.D. Jakes. You guys can do that. But I am going to start introducing another book that we're going to be reading out of as well. Let's see. A Woman's Guide to Spiritual Warfare to Protect Your Home, Family, and Friends from Spiritual Darkness. And this is by Arthur Quinn Shearer. If you're out there, you're listening. I probably messed up your last name. But Sherrer, and it's so similar to mine, my Cherie, except mine's is IE, hers is ER. And Ruth Ann Garlock, and that's Garlock. I found this book in Kroger's. While I was waiting for my prescription, this book caught my eye, and I just happened to pick it up and start reading. I got through 3 chapters before they called me for my prescription. So if you guys want to get that book too, I'll let you guys know when we start reading passages out of that one. But A Woman's Guide to Spiritual Warfare. I got it at the local Kroger's. You guys can put it in Google and see where it comes up at. But yeah, that's where I got mine. So we're gonna do that, and the Woman Thou Art Here, Healed and Whole, a 90-day devotional journey. Okay, so while I have you guys' attention for a few more minutes, before we end, we're gonna do like a repeat after me type deal, and I'm gonna leave you guys with some encouraging words as well, and then we'll go into some of the other channels that I have that you guys can listen to the show from and tune in at. Okay, so let's get to repeat after me. Repeat after me. I am no longer going to live in fear, speak negatively about myself and others, blame myself for past mistakes, downplay my ability and talents, cheat myself, lie to myself, live in denial, feel guilty for things that are not my fault, procrastinate, worry about things I have no control over, suffocate my feelings and emotions, put roadblocks in my path, make excuses, put myself down. Instead, I'm going to love myself unconditionally and treat myself with the most respect because I deserve it. Okay, so that was the repeat after me. And, yeah, that's all we have for you today. I hope that encourages you. And if it's not for you guys, pass it along to somebody else. You guys hear me say all the time, make it a domino effect. And this particular subject may not be for you, but if you know somebody that can use it and help bless somebody else, go ahead and pass it along to them. Everybody can use a little bit of encouragement every day, right? Like we can definitely use positive words of affirmation and encouragement. So some of my channels that you guys can catch the show on is we're going to do live every Saturday from blogtalkradio.com/Gina Cherie. So that is every Saturday morning, 10:30 Eastern Time, because I am in good old Georgia. And so if you guys, wherever you guys are listening from, just keep in mind it's Eastern Time. So you guys can also go to my YouTube channel. Yes, for those that know me, they're like, you finally did the YouTube channel. Yes, I've been avoiding the YouTube channel for like ever, and I finally created one, and I'm staying consistent with it. So that's my thing for 2024, staying consistent and going after things that I know that God has for me. So YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@CoachGinaCherie. And that would also be on my social media handles, you guys, so you guys can go there, and I'm going to give that to you as well. You guys can listen to the podcast at anchor.fm/Gina764. You guys can already give you the Blog Talk Radio because that's the live one, blogtalkradio.com/Gina Cherie. But the show can also be listened to on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, and Alexa. So I added I didn't add it. Alexa is really big for me, you guys. Like, I get my analytics, and out of all of them, Alexa is really big for me. So shout out to all the Alexa users. I'm not sure how you found me on Alexa, but I'll take it either way that it comes. So I'm really excited about that. And then if you guys want to keep up with anything, you guys want to be a guest on the show, you guys want to add to the conversation, if you guys have a book that you guys want to add that you think that was going to be helpful to others, you guys can always go to my website at GinaSherrie.com, GinaSherrie.com. There you can find everything. You guys can, I'm a certified life coach. You guys can see that on there. You guys can listen to the latest show. Anything that I'm doing, you guys can find it there. My whole schedule is on there. Topics. My food blog is on there, you guys. Everything is on the website, so you guys can go there too. So definitely check those channels out for me. And, definitely give me your guys' feedback and let me know what you guys are thinking about the show. And if it helped in any way, I am open to feedback of any kind because I can't do this without you guys. And I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening and all that good stuff. We're about to wrap this up. I think we did pretty good today. We're going to wrap it up, and I'm happy that this is worked out. They got everything worked out for us. So until next time, you guys, we'll be live here in the studio every Saturday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. blogtalkradio.com/GinaSherrie. Write down the number 563-999-3642 so you guys can be part of the conversation for the next time. So, head over to all my other channels, you guys, and give your feedback. Oh, email me. I forgot to tell you guys my email. Host Gina Sherrie, HostGinaSherrie at gmail.com. You guys can leave email me. I do answer back within 24 hours. So email me as well. Until then, you guys, love somebody, hug somebody, and encourage somebody. This is The Daily Dose, and I am your host, Gina Sherrie. And I will see you guys next Saturday.
We've seen it 1,000 times. Insurance companies using the same tired excuses not to pay. They'll say you're really not hurt or that your injury is from an old accident. That's why it's so important to hire a law firm who has their own medical experts who know how to fight excuses with facts. When they bring excuses, we bring the truth. And truth is power. Farah and Farah.
Call 1-800-500-5555. 12016 Abercorn Street, Savannah, Georgia.
Looking for big fitness energy this year? Join Planet Fitness. Now through January 12th, save almost $50 during the Big Fitness Energy Sale. We've dropped our enrollment fee from $49 to just 24 cents. Then pay $10 a month, cancel anytime. With equipment for every workout, free fitness training, helpful team members, and most clubs open 24 hours, you can get energized in the judgment-free zone. Don't miss out. Save almost $50 when you join today for just 24 cents down and $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 12th. Restrictions apply. See club for details.